Rachel here. My show today, I've got my friend Jana. We're going to do an interview with her, and I hope you guys enjoy. You're a Democrat, right?
Yep, I am.
Friends for like over, 11 years now? For a long
Yep.
Yeah.
I know. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. And I used to side more with the Democrats.
Okay.
And now not so much, obviously.
Right.
Sports. But
That was awesome.
we're still friends.
Exactly. And I was just about to say, and I don't want to be, it's going to sound like this, but I don't want to be one of those people who's like, I have Black friends, but I have a lot of friends who are Republicans. And we can have conversations like this. If I have somebody who's Republican and we can't have an intelligent, intellectual conversation about what we believe in and disagree about, I cut it off. I won't do it. I won't do it anymore.
No.
To delve into things that become very nasty, to the point of, I don't know anything I could say to hurt you, okay? But somebody could say the N-word to hurt me easily.
Right.
And if I wanted to think of something, and I'm using you because we're talking, but if I wanted to think of something to say to you to hurt you, I have to really think about it. Where I probably would have to go into your personal life on something that we share that nobody knows.
But I think that's because you're generally a nice person.
And I'm gonna give you that.
Because the person that will call you
Very good point you're making.
person that will call you the N-word is taking a cheap shot, like you actually are more intellectual about it. So
no, and I appreciate that. That's a good point. But even somebody outside of our friendship who, I don't know, just didn't like me and spouted it, there's nothing I can think of to say that would be like, that gut punch.
Yeah.
I don't have it. And truthfully, I don't want to have it. I don't want to know it. I don't want to react that way.
You're like,
I don't. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
So I have a reverse question for you, though.
Okay.
But I'm really curious. Yeah. So what did you think of Obama's speech at the funeral? Did you hear excerpts of it? Did you watch it or listen to it? Or did you just read about it?
I watched parts of it. I voted for him the first time. Did not vote.
Okay.
Because after the first time, I saw some things that I didn't agree with, so I didn't vote the second time.
Okay.
Obamacare really screwed me.
Yep, and I remember that conversation we had at your home, and you broke it down.
Yeah, and that got me digging more into his policies.
Okay.
And I got more angry. So I only watched clips of it. I didn't watch his whole speech. So where some people have Trump derangement syndrome, I kind of have aggressive Obama.
Okay.
I just, some of the things he's done, so I have a hard time watching him like the other people have a hard time watching Trump.
Right.
So I just watched part of it, and the part filibustering part, and
yeah.
that was an appropriate time or place to do that. But I know like right now it's a politically charged year for the election.
Right.
He's taking it as an opportunity to speak on that platform. I get it all from the political aspect of it.
And I'm really glad to hear you say that, because the other side is doing that too. And then they forget when they start pointing fingers. So I appreciate you saying that. But I asked you that because I want to make a point in this discussion that we're having that real people need to have every day and they're not. You're not upset with him, or you don't think less of him, or you don't like what he's done because he's Black, do you?
No.
And see, that's my point, where people can't separate the Blackness from the policies. Right. They either just look at the Blackness or they combine them, the policies and the Blackness together. And that's what made me ask you that on purpose.
You could also flip that around on Trump and say, because a lot of people say he's racist, that he's just pro-white. And you could say they're doing the same thing with him and I just think the whole race thing in general is just like, when are we ever just going to stop talking about it? Like, why can't we just move on?
And see, I told him, that's awesome you just said that. And that's awesome that you said that, because I told my mother literally last night, we will never move away from it. It won't happen in your lifetime, my lifetime, if I had kids, their lifetime, because people want something to hate. People want something to dislike. People want something to fight against. Because to your point, I think Trump is racist. I do. I don't think he likes people of color. I don't. He said some stuff where I'm like,
you have proof of that? I'm just curious.
Pardon?
If you have proof, share it with me, please. I mean, and not right now. I don't need to put you on the spot. But
right. But let me ask you a question.
See proof of it, please let me know.
Okay. But let me ask you a question. His words aren't proof enough? Like, tell me what's tangible proof to you if his words aren't proof enough.
Well, and I'll throw it back on you. What words specifically did he say? So, like, I've never heard him say, I hate Black people. I've never heard him say Hispanics are lesser and just there for gardening. I've never heard him say anything like that. So that's where when people say he is racist, I start looking for it. And I've looked for it. I'm like, okay, well, let me find out where he is. Because when all this happened, like, I didn't vote for Trump either. I gave up on the whole system. And then when he got in, everyone was like, hate him. And I'm like, man, why are these people hating him so bad? So then I started like watching stuff and watching press conferences and reading his stuff. And I'm like, wait a second, this is amazing. Like, it was just a completely different thing than what I heard, because I was in California at the time.
Right.
So that's what I mean about his words. It's like, if you can legitimately bring me something that he said this race is less than that race or whatever in the context of racism, bring it to me, share it to me, because I want to have that evidence as well.
Right.
I don't want to say I'm supporting somebody if he is racist, right?
Right.
But
right. So him starting his campaign out saying all Mexicans are rapists and murderers, that's not racist to you?
That, if I'm remembering correctly, was in relation to illegal immigrants who come over based like that gang, what is it, MS-13, that come over to either bring drugs or do violence and crime. I don't think he was talking about the entire race, but I'd have to go back and see exactly the phrasing and the context in which it was said.
Okay, and guess what? I'll do the same. And then when we talk again, I'll come back with my examples and like evidence, and then we can talk about that. Because one thing I want to touch upon that you made the comment of, I don't hate Trump. I just wasn't raised to hate people. I can dislike them because hate is a very strong word. So I can dislike them. I can dislike their policies, the things they say, their actions. I don't hate him. I just remember, and this is, I think, where I have a huge sticking point. There was a Saturday Night Live episode where Dave Chappelle was the host. And he did his monologue doing the Dave Chappelle thing and everything. And then at the end, he got serious. And Dave Chappelle rarely gets serious. And at the end of that, he said, I'm asking everybody to give Trump a chance. And I said, you know what? He's right, because I already have some preconceived notions that this is not going to be good. So, okay, Dave Chappelle, not that I'm a celebrity horror follower, but okay, you're right. That's what we're all supposed to do to each other, give somebody a chance. And I just think there have been times that he could have done great things or shown some, I don't know, empathy or compassion or bringing us all together, and he's missed it. And I just get so, I don't know. And I think it's a lot of pressure to be president. I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want to do it because I would make a lot of people unhappy.
So when you say something to bring everybody together, what kind of example do you mean?
Let me think about that for a minute, seriously.
Because
like, well, go ahead.
I've only seen him do things that no president's ever done as far as using that office for the people. And so that's why I want a clear example, because I'd love to like go away, find some examples that correlate to what you're suggesting and show you
No,
some.
and I'm gonna give you that for the moment till we reconvene. That's a very fair question. So maybe I have expectations on how I will act when something happens. Like with the school shootings, I I don't know, maybe I shouldn't use myself because I don't know what I would do if I was president. Because you don't know what you're gonna do till you're in the situation.
Yeah.
But instead of wrapping your arms around the NRA, which let me say this, I'm all for everybody bearing, arms, the right to bear arms, okay? Because you gotta protect yourself. People are batshit crazy out here. You got so, but I mean, do we need AK-47 assault rifles in the United States? If you try to shoot a deer with that, and yes, I know the crooks have them. When you try to shoot a deer, you're not eating any deer meat. Do we need that gun?
Well,
I'm just.
no, I get it, and there was someone else. I got into a Facebook fight over the hydrochloroquine drug, and she was just livid, angry. So tired of hearing these people talk about that drug. And I'm just like, why are you so angry about it? Like, some
Right.
people like it, some people don't. Like,
Right.
no reason to be angry, like viscerally angry.
Mm-hmm.
And God, I lost my train of thought. What did you say before that? You were talking.
I said, well, basically, I was like, do we need the AK-47?
Right.
Okay.
So my point to her was, I think the whole issue everybody is having really comes down to choice, because America's supposed to be free, right? We're supposed to be able to have a choice to do anything we want to do, and that's
I agree.
country. So if we start limiting what we can and can't do, whether that be buy a certain gun or buy a certain drug, all of a sudden the people who really want that freedom feel like, okay, if it's one thing, it's going to be multiple things, and then before you know it, we won't have it. So I think that's what it boils down to more than anything. But people throw in other things to confuse it and everything. But at the end of the day, it's everybody here wants to have a choice. Everybody here wants to have that freedom to say yes or no. Because when you start limiting, then are we a free society? And I'm not I'm not condoning that drug, and I'm not condoning the gun. I'm just saying freedom of choice.
No, and I'm going to give you that to a certain extent, because that particular drug, I'm being honest, I don't care who takes it. I don't care who doesn't. I'm not a doctor. I have not looked into that drug. I don't know what it's made of. I don't know what it does. I don't know what it's used for before everybody started touting it. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't care.
Me neither.
I'm just being real with you.
It works on some people, so good.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and because I literally met a lady through a friend of a friend, a very strong Trump supporter. It came across because she was trying to temper herself with me being at this bonfire, and I was trying to temper myself. Because she, to your point about the lady on Facebook who's aggressive, she was real defensive, where I was very like, well, if that works for you, that's great, because she took the drug to like protect herself. Her husband wouldn't take it. I'm like,
well, see, but there you have it. She has got that emotional connection,
right?
Now because it was her.
Right. And I said that's great. I have no debate about that. But I could tell she was waiting for me to be like, why are you taking that? You shouldn't be taking it. You could just feel it. Yeah. And that wasn't me, And then she even brought up how she hated now. Keep in mind what I'm saying, Dr. Fauci. I hate him. I think he's a quack. I think he's a piece of shit. Yeah. And again, I wasn't taking the bait. I said, well, he was on the forefront of HIV. That that means a lot. So I kind of like, he knows what he's doing, but okay, girl, you don't like him, you don't like him. I mean,
yeah, I don't like him either.
No, she was pushing for a fight. Yeah. That's my point with this. Yeah. But she has the choice, and I agree with you. You don't like him, I do. You want to take it, I know nothing about it.
Right.
And yeah,
You
but
like him, you don't like him.
we've
You
gotten away from that.
totally like we
We've
know
gotten away from that.
have our own independent opinions about anything.
Exactly. Everything now, and I'm huge generalization. Everything now is political, and I effing hate it. Okay. Look, bye.
I know we have mass compliance officers.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. That's a job.
That's a job, but not hiring more people for unemployment claims.
Are you serious?
Oh, I'm serious.
Okay, I'm not being funny. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And he recently came out, this is the state of Nevada's governor. He came out and he's not going to do the phases anymore. He's just going to do this long-term thing. So basically this is just life now. And when he deems that it's, you know, appropriate for whatever, then things may change. So it doesn't really feel like you're living under a free society anymore when this one person is in charge of deciding whether or not you can make a living for yourself, basically. Because I'm still furloughed.
I know you are, and you know I worry about that every day.
Well, and here's the thing. So I'm furloughed because my company is primarily in California and I'm in Nevada. And so a huge chunk of their income is gone because the hair salons are closed. So they've furloughed a bunch of people, including me. But Gavin Newsom, governor of California, he recently had a press conference and it doesn't sound like he's going to open the salons anytime soon. And so these are like people that need to pay rent in California. Think about that. And so
Oh yeah, I hung out with you there.
it doesn't look like I'm getting brought back on anytime soon. My
Right.
health insurance company, they just, I don't know if I told you this previously, but they will no longer extend, they had 12 weeks of COVID that they keep me on the health plan, but that's expired. So now I either have to go on COBRA or I have to find my own health insurance. And then when the company reinstates me, I can go back on the company health insurance, but I have to wait the 90 days. And I'm just like, all of this for what again? Like a death rate of like 2%, 1%, something like that.
And this is my bitch right now with both parties and what you just said. Anything that has to do with financial gain, income, healthcare, that's our money. Give the American people our money. Because while you guys, and this is both parties, let me be very clear. When you edit this, you make sure you get this shit. Let me be very clear. It's our money. I'm paying them money to help the American people. I don't care what party you are. You have to have a place to live. You have to feed your kids. You have to have your utilities on, and you have to have your life. So don't give any shit about, well, we got to figure out how much, and people want to stay home. They don't want to work. That's not true. Listen to what you're saying right now. And I'm sorry, I'm real passionate about this because I'm really pissed. Because as they're on TV talking, there's a TV that your audience will not be able to see. But there's a TV right here. And while they're on TV talking about it, they all getting their checks. So get your shit together, and all the money we're putting in, whether you're putting in money or not, I am, and give it to these people to help them live their lives and their livelihoods until we can get this COVID shit or whatever is going on, because it's more than COVID. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it's more than COVID. And whatever's going on, get the shit together and take care of the United States of America and the people that need help. Stop picking around about we can't agree, we can't do this. Well, yeah, you're going to a home with heat. Your kids are eating a nice meal. You're getting your check in the mail to pay your rent on your $4 million house or whatever your house costs in Washington. Get it together. And the apartment that you have or the house you have in the state you're representing.
Right.
real talk, I'm sorry. I'm real hot about that. I'm real passionate about that. I'm freaking over it because there are people out here struggling. Like you said, you're furloughed right now. You don't want to be furloughed. You would love to be doing hair right now. Yeah, girl. I get hot about that. I get real hot about that. I'm sorry.
I mean, I think things would change pretty quick if the governors lost their income. Let's put it that way.
You think? Girl, everybody be working.
Oh yeah.
My mother is a staunch Democrat. She has literally looked at the TV and said, why don't you give your paycheck up to the people in your district? She has literally looked at the TV and said that about everybody. Okay? Everybody. It's bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm just real passionate about that. Because these people out here are stressing and worried. Are they gonna have a house? Can they feed their kids? Kids aren't getting education. Education in America is already fucked. And now you add more to it? Are you freaking kidding me? Woo, girl, go to something else.
You have a drink there? Take a shot.
Go to another subject. Okay, I'm good. Go ahead. Next question.
Well, let's talk about something silly now because, I don't know how long.
Okay.
We've been talking for a little bit now.
Okay. I know, and I love talking to you to death. I just love you and adore you, and I'm just so happy for you. And this is really exciting. When we do this again, I'm gonna be 5 pounds down because I'm looking at your silhouette, looking at mine. I'm like, oh hell no.
Talk about Nick Cannon again and his.
Though I haven't seen anything with him now.
Oh no,
he's disappeared. Yeah, he's like disappeared. The last thing I saw was he was going to a temple to meet with a rabbi to talk about what he did. And that's been weeks ago.
So he wouldn't get canceled?
Well, he's been canceled except for The Masked Singer, and they don't know when they're coming back. Oh yeah, MTV, they pushed his talk show back a year. But this is what I've always tweeted. Words matter. You got to think about what you say, what you think, what you believe. And when you put it out there, you better have the balls and back it up.
I think I can expand on that too for you. Maybe words and context matter.
I'm gonna give you that.
Nowadays, people just take one little clip. They don't take the context.
Yes, I'm gonna add that to my Twitter hashtag right now while we're speaking, because you're exactly right. Words and context.
That's like a notorious thing. Like if you want to troll somebody or you want to like just wreak havoc on them, just take little snippets of things they say out of context and oh my God.
Right.
Life is just upended.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you for being my first guest.
You are very welcome. But we didn't laugh as much as we usually laugh. We have some like serious conversation. I didn't like that, to be honest with you.
I think it's because our alcohol level might be low.
Yeah, it's definitely low. Because I've been talking and not drinking.
Pretty intense there for a minute too.
I know. So that's why I said, let me see. And that's what I said. Look, I'm sorry, girl, but I got to say this.
I was like, I hope our friendship is still intact.
Hey, real talk, always. I told you that and I meant it. Nothing will come between us. No money, no man. I had another M, but I don't remember it. And no politics.
No money, no man, no orange man. Thanks for watching the show, and I'll see you next time.
The storm has arrived.